mare owner David Haynes sent his great mare Rose of Kingston to be mated with turf legend Secretariat, he was hopeful of the foal becoming a champion, and that's exactly what happened when in 1990 Kingston Rule won the Melbourne Cup.
Cup, and Kingston Rule wins the Melbourne Cup a length.
In 1991, for the first time in its history, the Cup was decided in the steward's room after Shane Dye on Shiva's Revenge protested against Let's Elope, written by Stephen King. The protest was dismissed, but it didn't worry Bart Cummings, who once again trained the Quinella of the great race.
Let's Elope bolts the Cup in, wins by 3 lengths, then it's a Cummings Quinella.
The Cup was in great doubt to be run after a downpour on Cup Eve in '92, but the sound of raindrops gave Greg Hall his greatest thrill in racing as he piloted Sub-Zero to victory.
And the Melbourne Cup of 1992 belongs to Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero wins by 2 to the end across and dust.
1993 was the year the Cup truly became international, with drum taps and vintage crop flying in to take on the locals. And it was the Irish Invader who came flying down the outside with Michael Kinane on top to put the Cup on the world stage.
And vintage crop has won the Melbourne Cup.
Well, I'm coming to you from the nursery car park where picnics are aplenty on this fabulous Flemington Day, Stakes Day here in Melbourne, and it is just glorious. About 21 degrees, a little balmy, just a mild wind, but a beautiful day for families, and of course they're out and about in full force. Well, Les Benton is the man principally responsible for the overseas raids at the Melbourne Cup, but this week Les has been the judge here at Flemington, and literally millions of dollars hang on his every decision.
When they hit the line locked together and all eyes turn to the semaphore board, you'll be sure of one thing. It's that the judge won't be looking for the number. In addition to his role as racing manager, Les Benton is the VRC judge and says there's no way he'll decide a result by the numbers. His view is coloured by the colours of the silks, that is.
Les, why do you look at the horses in the mounting yard?
Well, we've got a policy here in Victoria, and I guess worldwide, that all judges must understand a jockey's colours and not judge races by saddlecloths, because problems have arisen not only in this country but worldwide where inexperienced people have judged races by the saddlecloth, and of course you can't always see saddlecloths in close finishes.
And have you ever been called before the chief steward to say why you gave the horse the photo?
Oh yes, we've explained the photo finish to the stewards, and in all cases we've been proven right. They're off. Okay, Le Mans is last. So we judge races in exactly the same manner as a course broadcaster will call a race. Day, Le Mans coming around them, and Tauke's back on the fence in last place. Still Umrum in front. Here comes Le Mans out wide in the All Cerise. Umrum's won this, Tauke, Classic Day, Le Mans and Knowledge. Right, Umrum the winner is 2, Tauke is 3, Classic Day 5, Le Mans 4 and Knowledge 1. We'll just check those, Terry. 2, go through them please, 2, 3, 5, 4, and Knowledge will be 1, that's fine. Go down to the margins please, Terry. Winning margin is 2.5 lengths by a neck, just give us a breakdown on that smaller print please, Terry. 1, 2, 3.25 lengths. Thank you very much. Righto, the numbers are 2, 3, 5, 4, 1. Margins 2.5 lengths. A neck, 3.25. They ran a 123.1 and they jumped at 12:31.
Well, a fascinating insight there into the life of the judge, Les Benton. Peter Donegan has the result of that protest with race 3. Peter.
Yes, Sandra, the protest has been dismissed. Protest dismissed and correct weight has been notified. So the placings are 2, 4 and 8. Command Post is the winner. Second placing going to Accused number 4 and third is number 8, Metal Trader. So the numbers there, 2, 4 and 8. And let's check the dividends after the third event with correct weight. The winner 17.90 and 4.20 Command Post. 1.90 for Accused second. $3 for Metal Trade at third. The trifecta, a big one, $1,163.50. Quinella paid $65 even, and the race-to-race double returned $90.80. Sandra, back to you. We'll be back shortly. The runners are in the mounting yard now for race number 4.
All right, thanks, Peter. The lovely Lynn Talbot is out and about in the world of animals. Not quite sure how.
Sorry. Oh, Sandra, very interesting down here working with children and animals, but I don't know what they're saying. They have warned me that I should never do that, but I'm having a great old time down at the animal nursery, and I've met up with some friends from Healesville Sanctuary. Maria, tell me about Maureen, our gorgeous owl here.
This is a barking owl, and she lives at the sanctuary with all the other animals, and she's actually joined our presentation, so she will be flying amongst people, so you can actually see her fly really close and sometimes actually touching you as you're flying by.
Now, working so closely with her, you would soon have some sort of quite a bond, I would think.
Yes, you do bond to the animals, you can't help that, and you're working very close, and we only have a couple of people on each bird, so they get used to the routine and so on. Oh, now you stop that, you behave. Bad behaviour. Okay, and over here, hopefully the snake's better behaved, Byron.
Oh, well, hopefully he is. This is Jasper, and Jasper is a carpet python.
And he's quite warm.
Well, it's quite warm here today. He's just checking you out. It's quite warm here today, and being cold-blooded, he's taking advantage of that, and he's basically soaking in the sun.
How do the kids react to him?
A lot of people actually have never had the opportunity to feel what a snake is like, so it's a good opportunity, and they thoroughly enjoy it, and most of them take advantage of it.
Fantastic. Well, he is a bit better behaved than our friend over there. Sandra, come down and join us later in the day. I mean, you might be wrapped by a snake as well.
I know, they say never work with animals and children, but what hope have we got today, Lynn? Well, you may have noticed this week that the name Alf Matthews has been missing from the riding ranks. Well, whilst Alf has been sidelined with an injury, his absence from the saddle hasn't lessened the bond he has with young rider David Hall.
Racing's pages are bursting with stories of great partnerships between trainer and jockey, CS and the Babe, Thompson and Hayes, the Cup's King and the Professor, Cummings and Higgins, and lately, the pair some call Laurel and Hardy, Connors and Dye. And then there's these two, David Hall and Alf Matthews. The boys from Adelaide might not be the highest profile duo in the sport of kings, but they may just be the closest.
You know, Alf's been there right from the start of my career, and you know, we've had a lot of success, and the move to Melbourne was a pretty big step, and Alf wasn't going to get left behind.
My children refer to David as Uncle David, and you know.
Is it like any partnership that you have your ups and downs, you have a blue every now and then?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we've had a couple of good ones.
The biggest moment for the partnership came in this race, the Oakley Plate of '95. The horse was Carptingley, their first Group 1 success as a partnership.
Heavyweight starting to fly, and Carptingley is going to beat them all. A huge run. Carptingley's flown home on the outside.
I would have been extremely disappointed had I not have won David's first Group 1 race. And Carptingley, when it won the Oakley Plate, I had a tear in my eye.
Just at the moment, though, their partnership has been forced to undergo change. A troublesome hip injury is stopping Alf from riding in races. It'll be at least Christmas before he can.
Is that frustrating for you?
Oh, terribly. Like, you know, every jockey wants to be around in the spring, and you know, we all have a bit of spring in our step, I suppose, but oh, terribly frustrating, yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Perhaps Alf's enforced absence from the saddle does have one positive. It almost ensures that two good mates are never that far apart.
I'm quite happy with the partnership to go on for as long as it can, and I mean, Alf will know when it's not right, so I'll just rely on him.
Look, I'll be quite frank, you know, I really do believe he's as good as any trainer that's training in Australia.
Well, welcome back. And joining me now, Sam Harvey, one of the stars of, I think, children's television across Australia, but more importantly on Network 10 with Totally Wired. You're down from Brisbane. Welcome to Melbourne.
Thank you very much, Sandra. Yeah, having a fantastic time down here. We're out here for the Oaks and backed a few winners. Came home on at the Oaks. We've got the trifecta, actually, which made me pretty happy, and that was a tip from our managing director, actually. He's a bit of a horse buff.
Oh, I see. Well, we'll get your tips for the stakes a little later, but tell us about Totally Wild. You've been travelling the world, I understand.
Well, yeah, I mean, the environment's an easy subject to cover, so basically it's all around us, and you don't have to travel, but luckily we do. We've had crews off in the Solomon Islands, in Fiji, over in Perth, Adelaide, up in Kakadu and the Kimberleys, so basically we get around.
You do get around. You had your own race today, the Totally Wild Stakes.
We did, yeah. Unfortunately, I missed the winner there. Command Post came home. I was on number 3.
What about your tips for the main race?
4, 7 and 8 for the trifecta, and that again has come from the boss of Channel 10 Brisbane, who is, like I said, a horse buff.
All right, we'll take the tip from you. Thanks, Sam. Hope you enjoy the day, and of course, I no doubt you'll be swamped with kids as they keep seeing you and chasing you for autographs. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Sandra.
All right, Peter and Jenna in the mounting yard with all the details for race 4.
Yes, Sandra, and we're also in the mounting yard with the beautiful roses, which are looking a picture here today. 9,200 at the rose bushes. Jenna, they do look fantastic, don't they?
Oh, they're absolutely beautiful. Look at the colour there, the beautiful pink. But I'm a little worried about this little bee that's buzzing around my legs, Peter.
Yeah, well, speaking of bees, I think that was the winning margin in the last, actually. And we just see Les Benton up there doing his job as a judge before. Let's move on, shall we?
I think we should.
Race 4, the Troa Arrowfield Matriarch Stakes at 125. And let's take a look at these runners, starting off with number 2, Al Majoon, one trained by Gay Waterhouse. And it's been a bit of a lean carnival for Gay so far.
It sure has. I'm sure she'd be liking to get this horse home in this particular race. Drawn barrier 19 and 56 kilos, obviously a bit of a worry, and had 3 tries at the 2000 and failed every time. So a few things against it.
Hasn't been a bad carnival for Leon McDonald, though, and he trains number 3, Mine Gold, with Danny Nikolic aboard.
Well, Mine Gold won the Australasian Oaks over this distance back in May, and she will run out the distance, so I've left her there with some chance in this.
David Hall has number 5, Star Cossack. We just saw a story on David and Alf Matthews. Brett Preble, the rider, in the absence of Alf.
Well, I thought the 1400 metres was too short for her last start. She's stepping up to the 2000 metres here, and I think that will suit her. She's got a fairly good record over the 2000, not without a chance, Peter.
Admiring Glances has Brent Thompson in the saddle and also has the Hoodoo colours, the all-white, number 6.
Well, the blinkers go on for the first time here. She box-seated and ran home okay at Flemington on Saturday. The extra distance really should suit her, so a chance.
Number 7 to be ridden by Darren Beedman, trained by Peter Hayes. I'm not sure whether it's Batocchi or Batocci, but you think it can just about get the money?
Yes, I think it can. Very lightly raced, only the 9 races, but has been racing quite consistently. Go back 2 starts ago, she was on the worst going there, and she held her ground quite well at Moonee Valley, so the 2000 should suit her, and she's there with a good chance.
Jen, they say winning form's good form, so Sahara Breeze, number 9, to be ridden by Craig Williams, is in good form.
Yes, really turned the corner, this horse. She likes to go forward or box seat in her races. Is facing her acid test. It's a lot more tougher for her in this particular race, but she's not hopeless.
I gave Northern Embossing a chance later on, and Space Region finished only 2 lengths behind it at Caulfield, so in that case, it's probably got some sort of a chance here, this grey mare.
And she was a touch unlucky on that occasion too, Peter. She was tightened up on the turn there. She'll need luck from barrier 18, but not the worst by any means.
Decidity was the one each way for me. Can you make a case for her?
Yes, definitely. 51 kilos, barrier 4. She sat 3 wide and pulled hard. I got taken on, and I thought she got to the line quite well at Moonee Valley. A very good rough chance.
And what about Caulfield trainer Colin Little's runner here, Kachina, with John Marshall aboard?
At massive odds, Kachina ran 3rd in the South Australian Oaks and bolted in a maiden at Mornington. I don't think she's the worst at huge odds.
What do you like, Jen?
Well, I'm going to go for number 7, Batocci, from number 14, Decidity, and number 6, Admiring Glances.
Dan, each way Decidity for me in the 4th.
And at real good value there too. Number 1, Dolveet, $16. Almazoon at 13, $6.40 for Mine Gold. Sarah Deck at 26, Star Cossack 14, $9 Admiring Glances with the blinkers on today. Batocci at $4.60, and favourite Burning Embers 16, 13 Sahara Breeze and Lanceret, 15 Pray for Rain, $20 Robley Lass, 47 Space Regent, $15 for Decidity. Kachina 69 and Chicago Baby at $53. That's the rundown on the tote for race number 4. Tim Gossage, it's a wide open affair. I'd suggest each way odds the field.
Absolutely, Dan. There's not a great deal of money for anything. If anything, the best back runner is number 8, Burning Embers, in a couple of points. And Decidity got on the wrong leg at Moonee Valley, and Len Trelaw does expect it to improve markedly, but it's a big drifter in the ring.
So Decidity drifting in the ring. The 2,000 metre start over by the river, long run to the first turn, and then they'll turn from the 1400 to the 450 when they'll straighten up. And after that, I think Decidity Judy might be up there with them. Jennifer has gone here for Batocci. And the tips from Richard, Sahara Breeze and Mine Gold from Johnny Letts on their way to the gates. We'll take a break from Flemington and come back with race 4 on the final day of the carnival, the Troa Arrowfield Matriarch Stakes. The Whitman's Lightship hovering over Flemington, now a part of the Melbourne Cup Carnival, which has provided some magnificent pictures over the 7 days of the carnival. And there is the view with the Maribyrnong River on the right-hand side. Our thanks to Whitman's for all those special camera angles from the Lightship, from the tracking cameras in the barrier. Roy, it really has brought racing closer to the people.
Unbelievable, really, what people are getting to see on race day now. Yeah. They can see the jockeys changing their minds. I find this a very difficult race for the mares. I went with the 6